Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. But you've known they were coming for you when you were waving your hands in your face to mock Caitlin Clark when you were beating her for the national championship.
Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me like naked, literally.
Really?
They have sent it to my family members. My family members are like, uncles are sending it to me like,
No.
Angel Reese is once again at the center of controversy, but this time she may have crossed a line she can't walk back. Her recent allegations against Caitlin Clark and her fans have set social media ablaze, with many accusing Reese of fabricating stories to stay relevant.
there's never been beef. Like, we've talked trash to each other in AAU. Like, that it's been that. So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful.
Could this latest drama derail Reese's career and impact the WNBA? Or is there more to the story? Stick around, because we're about to dive deep into the claims, the backlash, and what this all means for women's basketball. Oh, and if you think Angel Reese is kinda trash, hit that subscribe button. Help me reach 1,000 subs by the end of the year. All right, let's get into it.
Let's go.
Angel Reese is no stranger to controversy, but this time, she might have really done it. In a recent podcast, she dropped some wild allegations, accusing Caitlin Clark's fans of harassing her.
When it comes to death threats, when it comes to people finding, like, I'm talking about people have come down to my address, follow me home. Like, it's come down to that. And like, when I talked about earlier on, after the season, and when I was in my press conference and I was talking about being sexualized, like, I guess people thought that was like, because I post pictures in my bathing suits. No, like,
Claiming they even created AI-generated nude photos of her that were sent to her family. Yep, you heard that right. Reese is claiming that Clark's fans are not only trash-talking, but also going as far as using AI to humiliate her. If this sounds a bit far-fetched, you're not alone. This bombshell has sparked outrage and a lot of skepticism. Honestly, it feels like Reese is grasping at straws to stay in the spotlight. It's one thing to accuse fans of trolling, but this? And here's where it gets interesting. Fans aren't just buying into Reese's claims, they're outright calling her a liar.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
You might remember the NCAA championship game where Reese couldn't resist taunting Clark with the infamous "you can't see me" gesture.
South Carolina, they still my SEC girls too. Y'all not gonna disrespect them either. So I wanted to pick her pocket, but I had a moment at the end of the game, and I was in my bag. I was in my moment. Yeah.
So the victor go the spoils. That was pure drama, but what we're seeing now goes way beyond harmless trash talk.
Fans are the reason people are making naked AI pictures of me. How do you get there? What does that have to do with Caitlin Clark? She puts herself out there, even on this podcast, stomach out, breasts barely hidden, legs front and center everywhere. She has sexualized herself.
It's almost like Reese is trying to keep this rivalry alive just to stay relevant. And honestly, it's starting to look desperate. Unsurprisingly, fans didn't just take Reese's word for it. They did what the internet does best, turned into detectives. People started digging into Reese's own social media. And let's just say what they found wasn't exactly helping her case. Reese regularly posts revealing photos of herself online, embracing a provocative image. So naturally, fans were quick to point out the hypocrisy. How can someone who's all about posting sexy photos now complain about being sexualized?
Oh, I'm shocked. People are sexualizing me. And somehow she's connecting it to being a Caitlin Clark fan. I just don't see the connection. It's like everything bad that happens to me is somehow connected to Caitlin Clark.
One of the harshest, but not entirely unfair comments put it perfectly. Nobody has sexualized Angel Reese quite like Angel Reese herself. Harsh, but honestly, not far from the truth.
I don't even understand what would motivate that comment. Caitlin Clark hasn't done anything. She goes out and plays basketball. I've never seen her trash talk. I've never seen her taunt Angel Reese. There's nothing there, but she's pretending like there is something there. There's one person who is driving all this, and it's Angel Reese.
And that's not even the worst part. People are starting to wonder if Reese's timing is just a bit too convenient. Let's be real here. Caitlin Clark is on fire right now, pulling in record numbers of viewers and sponsorship deals.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star, and Angel Reese is to be completely believed that There's no hate. They both get along. They're cool with each other. They're high-end competitors, etc., etc.
Meanwhile, Reese, she's making headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. Is she using Clark's name to stay relevant? Or is there something more sinister going on? Either way, no police reports or evidence of these AI photos have surfaced.
The other thing is, if there are death threats and threats of violence, I have a hard time believing that this would not have been reported and blown up into a story. I wonder, are there police reports? Is there a logging of this? Or again, is this her version of the graffiti on LeBron James's property?
Reese might want to rethink her strategy because it's looking more like an attention-grabbing stunt than a cry for help.
And control what she does. If she doesn't want people talking about her sexuality, don't make your sexuality the point of your Instagram page.
While Angel Reese is busy stirring the pot, Caitlin Clark is doing what she does best, dominating on the court. Clark's performances have been nothing short of legendary. Over 1 million people have tuned in to watch her games. An incredible feat in women's sports. Since she joined the WNBA, viewership has shot up by 180%.
What did you say? What did you say?
Yeah, you read that right. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's changing the entire game.
Clark is the platinum certified rock star of college basketball, leading the nation in scoring, assists, and charisma, while filling arenas at home and on the road and driving record television ratings as millions at home watch to see what she will do next. The Wall Street Journal describes the Caitlin Clark economy, drawing fans to hotels and restaurants wherever she plays, and driving ticket prices on the secondary market as high as $1,000 a seat.
It's like watching a master at work, and it's no wonder people are glued to their screens when she's on the court. And what's even better, Clark hasn't said a word about Reese's drama. No need to engage when you're out there setting records and breaking barriers, right?
Channel defense by the Sparks fans. 6 on the shot clock. Clark, a deep three. Oop, that is. She missed her first 7 and knocks that one down, and it's a big.
This silence is exactly what makes Clark so much more likable. While Reese is out here pointing fingers and playing victim, Clark's just focused on the sport she loves. She lets her game do the talking, and fans absolutely love her for it. Oh, and did I mention Clark signed a $3 million deal with Nike? That's what happens when you're a real star. You get paid for your talent, not for stirring up drama.
That Caitlin Clark is the golden goose. She's the cash cow. And wherever she goes, ratings follow. The WNBA draft, the doubleheader to open the NBA season. Ratings. I'm going to remind y'all that in the 28-year history of the WNBA, only 9 players in the league's history have eclipsed on-court earnings of $1 million.
Now I get it. People are going to say, but Angel Reese has the right to express herself. And sure she does. But when you're a public figure making serious accusations, you're putting yourself under a microscope. You can't post all these provocative pictures and then act shocked when people comment on them. Reese's complaints about being sexualized just don't line up with her social media presence. And that's why fans are calling her out.
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time.
Let's be honest here. Reese seems to want the spotlight, but she doesn't want any of the criticism that comes with it. She's playing the victim card while also being one of the most provocative personalities in women's basketball. It's like she's stuck in this loop of creating drama just to stay relevant. I mean, who needs good stats when you can keep people talking about all the nonsense off the court, right?
Angel Reese, and so if she says that, we're not going to be denied no matter what you try to do, she may have been trying to, whoever she's talking about, no matter what you try to do, she may have been talking about someone else. I interpret it as like, she's talking about the media. She's trying to say, we're trying to bring her down.
But here's the thing, fans are getting tired. They don't want to watch a soap opera, they want to watch good basketball. This mess has put the WNBA in a tough spot. The league has been gaining a lot of positive attention thanks to rising stars like Caitlin Clark, but this drama threatens to undo all that progress. Some fans are even talking about boycotts if the WNBA doesn't handle this properly.
The thing is, if there are death threats and threats of violence, I have a hard time believing that this would not have been reported and blown up into a story. I wonder, are there police reports? Is there a logging of this? Or again, is this her version of the graffiti on LeBron James's property?
You'd think with all the new viewers coming in, they'd want to keep things focused on the game, not on off-court drama. So, what should the WNBA do? Should they stand by Reese and hope this blows over, or should they step in and set some boundaries? Personally, I think the league needs to step up and make it clear that they won't tolerate unfounded accusations.
Women's basketball is like this niche sport. And maybe she's just used to dealing with a certain people or certain media or certain followers that quote unquote look like her. They can kind of convey, like, they more relatable. In other words, they're not white. It's not a wide-ranging audience. Now that she's been thrust into this spotlight where she's not just saying stuff to people that would sympathize with their every word, who are actually going to push back and be critical, I actually think she's having a tough time with people disagreeing with her.
If Reese has real proof of harassment, by all means, let's see it. But if not, she needs to own up and move on. This is bigger than just Reese and Clark. It's about the credibility of the WNBA and the future of women's basketball. Angel Reese has put herself in a tricky situation. Her claims are bold, but without evidence, they're starting to look like a ploy for attention. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is doing what real stars do, dominating on the court and letting her achievements speak for themselves. Reese might want to take a page from Clark's book because right now, she's in danger of becoming more of a joke than a player to watch.
The social media is a whole nother obligation and a whole nother business onto just being a performer. Much like Angel is a performer on the basketball court, there is an onus and a responsibility that these athletes or entertainers have to their brands.
If Reese doesn't change her tune soon, she could find herself on the outside looking in, while Clark continues to rise as the face of women's basketball. It's one thing to trash talk on the court, but when the drama follows you off it, that's when things start to unravel. But hey, what do you think? Is Angel Reese playing the victim, or is she genuinely being harassed? I'm curious to hear your take, but one thing's for sure. This whole situation is spiraling, and the WNBA needs to get a handle on it. And hey, if you're as tired of Angel Reese's antics as I am and think Caitlin Clark is the real deal, hit that subscribe button. Let's hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.